Did you know that the Samaritans, the mysterious people mentioned in the Bible, still exist today? You might think they vanished centuries ago, lost in the pages of history, but the truth is far more fascinating. They have survived over 2,500 years, enduring invasions, persecution, and near extinction. But where are they now? How did they manage to preserve their identity for so long? And what secrets do they hold that could transform the way we understand biblical history? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today we are uncovering the mystery of the Samaritans, a forgotten people who refuse to disappear. Their story is one of resilience, conflict, and faith. And what you're about to hear might completely change the way you see some of the most famous stories in the Bible. To understand who the Samaritans are today, we first need to go back in time, back to the days of the ancient kingdom of Israel. Thousands of years ago, the land of Israel was divided into two kingdoms. In the south, we had the kingdom of Judah, with Jerusalem as its capital, home to the great temple of Solomon. In the north, there was the kingdom of Israel, with Samaria as its capital. These two kingdoms, despite sharing the same ancestry, often saw each other as rivals. But everything changed in 722 BC, when the mighty Assyrian Empire invaded the kingdom of Israel. The Assyrians had a brutal strategy. Instead of simply conquering a land, they forcibly removed the local population and replaced it with foreigners. Many Israelites were exiled, and in their place, the Assyrians brought in people from other regions. Over time, the remaining Israelites mixed with these foreigners, forming a new group of people, the Samaritans. This is where the conflict begins. The Jews from Judah saw the Samaritans as corrupt, impure, and unfaithful to God, believing that they had mixed with pagan cultures and abandoned the true faith. On the other hand, the Samaritans believed that they were the true descendants of Israel, and they worshipped God on Mount Gerizim instead of the temple in Jerusalem. This religious and cultural divide led to deep hostility between the two groups, a rivalry that would last for centuries. By the time Jesus walked the earth, the hatred between Jews and Samaritans was stronger than ever. Jews avoided Samaritans at all costs. They refused to speak to them, do business with them, or even step foot in their villages. But Jesus did something revolutionary. He broke this cycle of hatred and turned the narrative upside down. Take, for example, one of his most famous parables, the parable of the Good Samaritan. To us today, this story might sound like a simple lesson about kindness, but in Jesus' time, it was shocking. Why? Because the Samaritan was the hero of the story. Imagine this. A Jewish man is attacked by robbers, left on the side of the road, bleeding and near death. A priest walks by, one of the holiest and most respected members of Jewish society, but he ignores the man. Then a Levite, another highly religious figure, also avoids helping. But then a Samaritan, someone despised by the Jews, stops, cares for the wounded man, and ensures his safety. To the people hearing this story for the first time, this was unbelievable. It was offensive. Why would Jesus make a Samaritan the hero? He was challenging deeply held prejudices and showing that faith and love are not about ethnicity or tradition, but about actions. And that wasn't the only time Jesus shocked his followers by interacting with Samaritans. Another example is his encounter with the Samaritan woman at the well. In that time, men rarely spoke to women in public, and Jews never spoke to Samaritans. But Jesus did both. He sat down with a Samaritan woman and had a deep conversation about faith, revealing that true worship is not about a physical location like Jerusalem or Mount Gerizim, but about worshiping God in spirit and in truth. This was a radical message, one that challenged centuries of division. But after Jesus' time, what happened to the Samaritans? As the Roman Empire took control, the Samaritans faced intense persecution. They were often caught between powerful empires, Romans, Byzantines, and later Islamic rulers. Each new ruler saw them as outsiders, and each new empire pushed them further toward extinction. During the Byzantine era, the Samaritans were brutally persecuted. Their temples were destroyed, their people were massacred, and their numbers dropped dramatically. Some were forced to convert to Christianity or Islam. By the Middle Ages, only a small remnant of Samaritans remained. But here's the incredible part. They never disappeared completely. And this brings us to today. If I told you that there are still Samaritans living in Israel and Palestine right now, practicing the same traditions they followed thousands of years ago, would you believe it? It's true. Today, there are about 850 Samaritans left in the world. They live in two small communities, one on Mount Gerizim in the West Bank and the other near Holon, Israel. What's even more astonishing is that their religious practices have barely changed in thousands of years. They still follow the Samaritan version of the Torah. They still believe that Mount Gerizim is the true holy place, and they still perform animal sacrifices during Passover, just as described in the Old Testament. But the Samaritans face a serious problem. They are disappearing. With such a small population, they struggle to survive. Since they traditionally don't marry outside their community, they face genetic challenges due to centuries of intermarriage. At the same time, modern life is making it harder for young Samaritans to hold onto their traditions. Some have left the community, while others question whether they can continue practicing an ancient way of life in a rapidly changing world. So will the Samaritans survive for another century? Or will they become just another lost chapter in history? The truth is, no one knows. But their story teaches us something profound. They have endured rejection, persecution, and near extinction. Yet they have never let go of their faith or their identity. And now I want to hear from you. Did you know the Samaritans still existed? What do you think about their survival after all these years? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love learning about biblical history, lost civilizations, and untold stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.